Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, and everybody in between.
It is 8:30 in Vienna, which means it's time for It Should Be About Something.
That's right.
This is the 9th of December, 2021.
And this is episode number 55.
Jim.
Michael, how was your week?
And while we update each other about our week,
go ahead and write down in the chat how your week was.
So, how was your week?
I have no fucking clue anymore.
You thought about what to say before the show?
Yeah.
And then we went into pre-show panic?
Yeah.
PPS?
PPS. PPP.
PSP.
PSP?
PSP?
What?
Pre-show panic?
Pre-show panic.
Or There's a lot of peeing going on before the show.
What happened this week? I had my first ultrasonic. A sonogram.
Sonogram, that's it.
I'm not pregnant.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That came out good.
You didn't need to do the sonograph for that. You could have just peed on the thing.
I could have just peed on the stick. I'm going to go pee on a stick for a while.
Pee on a stick.
Got to pee on a stick.
See if it changes color.
Pee on a stick. I'm doing that Gesundheitscheck with the SVS.
Yes.
Which is the social security, the health service.
Getting all your holes probed.
I'm going to get I've got a doctor for every hole. I'm really excited. They do, it's like an all-around service. And then apparently at the end of it, you've done this maybe. Then if I'm good or if I get better, then they take off some money from.
You pay less. What do you? I think you pay less. Selbstbehalt. What's Selbstbehalt?
Uh,
I think I'm paying. Oh no, that's it. I think I'm paying 5% now. Like you
Yeah.
usually pay 10, and I think I'm paying 5
Okay.
because of the
I, in
test.
fact, actually don't care about that aspect of it because I've come to terms with the fact that I will be paying the SVS money until the end of my days. At least in
Really?
this way. Oh, I'm
Really?
sure.
What, like when you start drawing a pension, do you still have to pay them?
I don't know.
Like I hope not.
I just
Because the measly
when I
pension
start
I'm gonna
drawing a
get.
pension, I will still be paying back SVS taxes.
I've been considering. Are we drinking already? Okay.
Oh,
good,
yeah.
Fine. Then
Let's
here
do
we
it.
go. Slurpity slurps.
Slurpity slurp slurps. I guess
Here's what I was thinking.
All right.
I'm going to apply for early pension
Okay.
because that way at least I'll get some.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I know the whole pension thing. I'm just glad I live in a country that has socialized medicine. I'm glad of the fact that over these 20 plus years I've lived in Austria, paying into this system, I've never really had any cause to get anything out of it. You know what I mean? Like I've been very well off. I've spent one night in the hospital since.
How much does that cost you?
Nothing.
Right.
Right?
Do you know what a COVID patient costs on an? Hang on, somebody was looking at these numbers the other day. It was 97,000 euros is like a week on an ICU.
Wow.
97,000.
Wow. Yeah.
And if you're just in a normal,
Well, we've got beds. We can put them in beds.
that's right. And a normal ward's I think 32,000 a week.
That's why. Wow.
I remember when I had my appendix out.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to have it out twice, kind of because they forgot a little bit.
Yeah.
That was over 30 grand, and that was 15 years ago.
Yeah. Well, mine was a long time ago too, and I don't remember if I had to pay anything. I don't remember having to. It was minimal. It was nothing. It was the complete opposite of when I still lived in America and was one of those, men between 18 and 35 who didn't have insurance, or like the Cobra insurance that I had gotten insurance from my employer, and then when I left there, I kept paying, and it was expensive. And then when I got hurt,
It didn't cover.
I wasn't covered.
Yeah.
And it was just such a
Yeah.
fucking scam,
Yeah, totally.
Back in the day, I was like, the first ones up against the wall when the revolution comes are the insurance people,
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Fuck 'em.
In any case, now I'm doing this thing, and it's terrific. I go to the place, they're all incredibly nice. They've done an amazing job of trying to set up all of the appointments. I'm getting everything checked, all my ears and my eyes and my nose and my butt and my dank and my psychological stuff and Ernährung, so nutrition stuff. It's terrific. And
See, that's why you pay for it.
well, this is what
you
I'm
get
saying.
that, but
I'm
at least you get
getting
that.
something out
Yeah.
of it now. And why haven't I done this years ago?
Which is the reason why I've been doing this for like 20 years. I've been going and getting a checkup once a year. Because what else am I paying for?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. See, you're smart. I'm a dumb, but I'm getting smarter. And you're not getting younger.
I didn't say you were dumb. And yeah, it's true. I'm not getting younger. Good. So that's a good week.
Yeah,
Pretty good week.
that was a pretty good week. What else happened in that week? I don't know. Stuff.
Yeah, my week was kind of wet
Yeah.
and snowy. My bike stuck out in the snow.
I told you, man.
It fucking dumped a huge load of snow. And yeah, so it's still stuck in the snow. Well, I mean, I put the cover over it, but it's...
I did not know
It
it
ain't
was going to
pretty.
snow. And this morning I woke up to this winter wonderland.
Stop saying that!
and-
There's nothing about this that is anywhere close to Winter Wonderland. It's sludge. This deep. It's slippery, wet, sloppy, gooey gugh. No Winter Wonderland.
It's beautiful.
It's like someone took a shit
And it covered all of the rooftops
and called it Winter Wonderland.
and made this really nice sweet sound outside where everything was a little gedämpft, and I thought it was
He's making
beautiful.
this up. He's making this up.
You've just lost your childlike wonder, Michael.
Yeah, I was always the cynical kid. Even back in grade school. Like, Michael, don't tell the other children that Father Christmas doesn't exist. But it's the truth.
Wait,
but don't tell them.
Wait, what? I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. Let's say hi to everybody. It Follower of Clay is in the house.
Philly Girl.
Philly Girl 1000
Philly
in the
Girl
house.
was number 1 up on
Yeah.
the list there. Relevant topic. Yeah, I heard all about the relevant topic already before we opened the show. So yeah, it's kind of buzzing around.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess everyone, what do you think Philly Girl 1000 should get her son for Christmas? That would be a good list of, please help her out. What does Philly Girl 1000's son need? Let's say hi to Muchado. Muchado in the house. Christina Lasmulik, hello. Anarab, hello. And Marcus is in the house.
Follow Clay's doing Anne!
Yeah.
Anne!
Anne. And Marcus is in the house. Verena, hello. Everybody wave to Verena. Verena, wave to the screen.
Pavlov's dog.
Moko.
Moko. Where are my stickers?
stickers?
They're in the mail.
Are they really in the mail?
They're in the mail.
We envelope
Yeah.
them, everything.
We
They
envelope
should
them.
be.
I think Follower of Clay can.
Did Follower of Clay get his
I think
stickers?
Follower of Clay got his sticker.
If Follower of Clay got his stickers and Moko hasn't gotten her stickers yet, then shit's wrong, man. I'm going to be kicking shins. A haircut.
They're in the mail.
Yeah.
A haircut maybe
Yeah.
for Christmas.
For Christmas.
I don't know. Maybe they'll lock us down. I went and got a really short haircut.
Yeah.
I just told cut it really short when we locked down because I was like, who knows when I'm going to get a haircut the next
Yeah.
time? You never know.
And I missed that window. There was
did?
like
Yeah.
I had like a 4-hour window where I could have gotten my hair cut before the lockdown.
We got back from Corinthia, and we got back, I don't know, 20 minutes earlier than we thought we were going to be here. Went and got a COVID test, and I was like, he's still open. I'm going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally missed that. Pavlov's dog is here. Hello, Pavlov's dog. Cool.
Yeah, so anybody else who's like not on the chat yet, but kind of just lurking in the background, get on the chat.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
Yeah.
Tell us what your day's been like, what your week's been like, what do you think of what we're talking about. Come back at us.
Let us know if it's right or if it's bullshit or if you have a better idea.
A razor.
I wonder if Machado's in the anti-beard camp.
Shave that face, boy.
Shave your shoulders.
I had a buddy who had so much hair that he had to shave his shoulders.
Yeah.
And we went on a cycling tour, and he asked me to put sunscreen on his back.
Right.
Man, it's like once you get the sunscreen on that dude, it was just like this. It was like a wet flocati.
Oh, God. I was like 16 years old and had gone to traffic court. I wanted to fight a ticket.
You thought you were going to get out of that?
Because I was like, I'm going to be part of the system. You know, I'm like,
yeah.
I am one.
And justice.
And
I'm going to get justice. Yeah.
And in fact,
exactly the
I
same thing.
did. I totally got
Really?
justice. Yeah, because the
Really?
cop didn't show up. So it got
Oh,
thrown
you had
out.
to show up.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You got justice. My God.
Or what was it? No, I pled nolo contendere. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. Yeah, and then because he didn't do the thing,
Interesting.
they got thrown out. But while I was there, and it was the first time I'd ever seen this, I saw this dude. He was this red-haired dude, and it's one of the reasons caught my eye because I was redheaded at the time. But he was like one of these redheaded dudes that was incredibly hirsute. So much so, he was wearing hirsute, means very hairy. Hirsute, he had a hair suit. He had a white T-shirt on that was above, because he had so much hair pouring out of his shoulders, out of the neck of his T-shirt. The T-shirt was like on shoulder pads. You know what I mean?
It's like,
And he had shaved.
like when you put your pet in pajamas.
Yeah. Or like putting a hairnet on an afro, but expecting it to be a skull cap, but it in fact is just a hairnet.
Yeah.
And
I know.
And so but he also had a beard, but he had shaved his neck around here, and so it was just like hair, shaved hair, like a poodle. You know, like a poodle would do.
Who's that comic strip character who's all hair except for the glasses in the middle?
All hair except for
He's like floor length hair.
Oh,
And
well,
then
there's
there's
a few
just
of those.
eyes or glasses that look out of the middle.
Like there was the in the 70s, you had those the reefer smoking with the noses and the glasses, and there's the guy with the afro and the glasses and the nose.
Yeah, not that one.
Not 70s.
But it's an old comic. It's been around for a long time.
I think it
don't
might
think it's
be
that
this
one though.
Okay.
I think it's a Stone Age one.
Oh, you mean Captain Caveman? He didn't have glasses, but he had all the hair and just a nose and eyes, and it was hair down to his feet.
Yeah,
and he had a
maybe.
club. He had a club that he could swing around.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, but
Captain Caveman.
but that character, I
Yeah.
think lots of people have used that character.
Yeah.
That guy.
Cousin Ed from the Munsters.
Pavlov's dog is drinking alcohol-free gin. You got to work tomorrow, Pavlov. Or what's
Or
going on?
are you just trying to start a fight? Yeah, you got to look out for Pavlov's dog. When she gets on the alcohol-free sauce, she gets really
She's just
aggressive.
out there looking for a bruising.
Yeah, bring it on.
Something Brothers, Pavlov's dog. You like it? Yeah. Okay.
The fabulous furry Freak Brothers. The Freak Brothers. You're right, follower of Clay. Thank you
like
very
that.
much. Something Brothers. Yeah, it was the Freak
that out.
Brothers. Yeah, and I think that was an R. Crumb. Do you know Robert Crumb?
I know R.
Yeah, I think that was an R. Crumb joint, but I can't remember.
I like R. Crumb.
Yeah.
Slurping.
Slurping. One more slurp. Where's my slurp?
Where's your slurp gone?
There's the slurp.
Okay.
That's right. So thank you all for joining us here tonight. If you haven't gotten onto the chat, please do. These are super friendly, nice folks, and we'd love to hear from you. We're going to move on because it should be about something comes to you in 3 parts. We call them chapters, and this is chapter 1. On your one day left to live. So let's give a quick definition of this. What we're saying is, you've got one whole day, 24 hours left to live.
But you're not in jail.
You're not in jail. You got 24 hours left to live. How do you spend it?
Yeah.
What do you spend that time on? So that's our question to you. On your last day to live, you got 24 hours left. What do you do?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I think it is a good one. Like my first knee-jerk reaction was I'd go out and dish out vengeance.
Right. Okay. So your impinging death leads you. It's a 24-hour
impinging.
Impending. That's
Yeah.
what. Well, it also impinges, I suppose.
I guess. But I'd go out and pinch someone else.
Okay. So you're going to use your last 24 hours as your own private purge, and just get it all done.
It's like anybody who deserves a fair bit of retribution.
Yeah.
I'd go, pass out some carrots.
Some righteous retribution. What was it?
An angel of.
Do you know
the meaning of nemesis? Nemesis is a righteous retribution delivered by an angel of something. In this case, me, an ugly cunt.
Michael used to do that speech all the time. I love
It's
it.
one of the best speeches.
From Snatch, right?
Yeah. Brickhead from Snatch.
That's right. Okay, so you're on the purge tip.
Well, no, actually, that was my first knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, okay.
And then I thought, fuck, who cares? If I've got 24 hours to live, then I'm definitely not going to go out slapping a bunch of motherfuckers who've been deserving of a good slapping for time, for as long as I can remember. So, fuck that.
Right.
Forget it. I'd rather do something fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I guess it would be doing fun things with people close to me.
Yeah.
It's like, I think eating.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna die in 24 hours, I think I'd just eat for 24 hours. Eat and drink with my favorite peeps for 24 hours. And if I get too full, I just go, I don't know, buff it up, eat again. I want to have all the foods. I want to have all the sushi, like all the super yummy sushi.
Yeah, and all the sushi that might kill you.
And then I want to have all the maybe those last, right?
Yeah.
Maybe beat death by killing yourself before you're 24 hours up.
I'm going to
have the
just use
Peking
23 hours.
duck, and I want to have the roast piglet.
What about eating something that's like forbidden?
What, like Komodo dragon?
Wow.
No, I don't care about Komodo dragon. Probably tastes like chicken.
It all tastes like chicken.
On the subject of which, I made a really good honey sweet and sour sauce the other day.
Okay.
For some chicken.
Yeah.
Dang.
Did you put it on that chicken? Is it a whole chicken?
No, it was bits of chicken.
Bits of chicken? Chicken bits?
Chicken bits.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. I like the idea of just the orgy of food and drink. I'd like to have maybe, at least 5 minutes of an actual, sexual orgy too. That would be, nice to spend some sexy times in that 24 hours.
Like sexy times with food.
Maybe right at the end, so then I can come and go at the same time.
Le petit mort.
Le petit mort becomes
Le grand mort.
Yeah. And whomever I'm sleeping with becomes a legend because Libby died. That's some pussy. That's some. You got some killer sex there. Yeah. So on your last day to live, I suppose that question is supposed to focus you on what's important to you.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so spending it with, your loved ones, absolutely. Although I really feel like I need to schedule that day out because as much as I love my mom, I'm not sure I'd want to spend 24 hours with her and those are my last 24 hours.
So
You know what I mean?
Here's how I envision this.
Yeah.
Right? My last 24 hours are going to be one long table. There's going to be food all over the table.
Okay.
Food and drink.
Right.
And I'm going to invite people, and they can sit at the table with me for 24 hours. And I'll go around and sit with everybody.
Right.
And have a good time. And
Right. I like this idea. Can I pimp it? I'd like to suggest that instead of it being a table, that it is a conveyor belt, like a running sushi. And these people come
on the conveyor belt?
on the conveyor belt, or like they come along
with food.
with their food, and then you
join
can
the
have
ribbon.
your thing with them.
like a
and
roller
then
coaster
when
kind
it's
of thing.
time, all right, next. You just keep swiping them along. All right, let's get through this. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so then the maitre d' would sort of come up to you and say, Jim, are you ready for the next course, which is going to be Philly Girl / Peking Duck?
yeah. Philly Girl 1000 and her fabulous Peking duck slides into view. We eat, we talk, we hug, we say goodbye. Next. This is your best friend from third grade that you have always thought about, but always wondered where they went to. You have 3 minutes, but it's okay. It is just a Jello shot.
Nice.
Yes.
Jello shot.
Jello shot.
I think on hour one, minute one of my last 24 hours, I want to get out of bed and start eating cashews.
Cashews.
Yeah, I really like cashews.
Wait. Did you say cashews on purpose, or did it just come out weird when you said it?
It sounds weird when you say it.
Cashews is how I say it.
Yeah, but it sounds weird that way.
Oh, it does it? Okay. How do you say it?
Cashews.
Right. God bless you. Cashew. Cashew. It's funny to hear it like cashew. For me, it sounds funny, cashew.
There's a flaw in the way you pronounce cashew.
Cashews.
There's a flaw in it.
What's the flaw?
The way you pronounce it. That's the flaw.
There's just one little
flaw.
Flaw.
There's a flaw in the flaw.
There's a flaw. Yeah. What did you?
A flea and a fly and a flew.
Flip, flop, fly. I don't care if I die.
Okay, so Moko, yes, absolutely. I think this is a plan. I think we could all get on board with this. In fact, if we knew the world was ending, I think this is what we should do.
Yeah. Verena's got a great. It's speed goodbying. Yeah, it's like speed dating.
Speed goodbying with food.
Speed goodbying.
It's so nice to have known you all my life. I've got to go.
Yeah.
I was eating drumsticks.
Okay, yeah. And then there's like a couple of rooms where you could leave. You know, and it was like, okay, well, we got to sleep together before we go. All right, come on, let's do this. Let's make this happen. Got a room ready over here. It's all good. But, you know, we've only got 12 minutes, so I got to get back out. Speed goodbying.
New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay, drink a really nice New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. Yeah, those New Zealand
I think
wines.
you're going to need more than one bottle of wine, Verena. You've got 24 hours. Don't forget, you've got 24 hours.
Moko says, I'd bake a cake and sulk. Moko!
I think this is a good plan. I think this is a really good plan.
Got a cake.
On minute one of hour number one, you like make some food and put it on the table and sulk. This is the last time I can take
It's the last time I ate this cake. That was an hour and a half from my last day gone.
Oh God,
Moko, we would if it was your last 24 hours, we'd come and sulk with you. Sulking is only good if you can. I think if someone else understands that you're sulking, because why else would you sulk?
Sure.
I suppose going off to sulk by yourself has its merits, but you've gone off, so everyone knows.
Everybody's happy you've left because.
But they know that that's what you've done. Yeah, you know.
Oh my God.
Sulking is really interesting. Sulking is we need to find some time to talk about sulking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We should write that one down on sulking. I want to talk about sulking at some point. But it's a really funny combi. I bake a cake and sulk. It's really funny. Tell my peeps I love them and go on wildly combining all the leftover things from my bucket list last hour just to chill.
Yeah. And this also means that your bucket list only has things on it that can be done in a couple of hours or a couple of minutes.
Well, he's combining them. So he's going to be
I see.
He's going to be parachuting.
Oh, right. On
after having climbed the Empire State Building.
Right. So climb the Empire State Building
and parachute,
and then parachute down high.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that might be a good one for that last hour. I think I would like to take all of the drugs, and just go out.
Yeah.
In the universe.
Just like blow it out.
Yeah.
You know. Talking of blowing it out.
I see.
Hey Pavlov. Sorry to hear you're on antidepressants, man. I hope that gets better. Or dang.
Yeah.
It's not an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
I think,
do the things that you need to do.
This is one of the
same
reasons why we need good non-alcoholic alcohol. So that we can enjoy having a drink that actually tastes like a drink when we're not allowed to drink.
Yeah.
See?
Sleep with all the women you missed out. I don't think that 24 hours is going to do. Yeah, no, it's not the ones that I missed out on, just the ones that, I need to sleep with before I die. It might be again. It's not necessarily the missing outs. There might be some,
Something else in there.
Yeah. Stuff that I'll have plenty chocolate, a good pinotage, and all the peeps I love. Yeah. What's a pinotage?
It's a red wine,
Yeah.
very dry,
Yeah.
and it's Pinot Noir and Hermitage grape, making a pinotage.
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah, the South Africans are big on pinotage. Oh, and the Californians as well, because they got a lot of sun, and pinotage grapes need a lot of sun. Wow. Yeah. A good pinotage or 3. Pinotage is my favorite wine to have with steak. Like if you get a really nice big fat brown and purple steak like that.
Yeah.
Pinotage.
Verena says the same answer,
The same
Jim.
answer.
Yeah. Well, I think you underestimate how fast I can do it. I'm like a 16-year-old boy. I'm a 2-minute hero, but I can do it all night long. A great South African wine. Well, I think we did it. That was a good
Was that
hustle
it?
there.
It was a good hustle,
We
yeah.
did do a good
Dang.
hustle there. On your
Kaboom.
last day to live, I think the plan is get as much of the nice people around you as possible.
Get laid
Get as much of the good food as
and
possible.
stuff your face.
That's right. People, laid, face.
Drugs.
Drugs. Top it off
The last 2 minutes of drugs.
at the end, a pinotage, and all the drugs.
Way high.
Yeah.
Speed goodbye sounds like something I should do on a regular basis. It actually sounds like it could be a lot of fun, yeah. So didn't we have an Isbaz day out? We were going to hire a blimp or something. We're going to do something crazy. We're going to do skydiving.
Yeah, from the blimp.
Okay, skydiving from a blimp.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's our other idea for an Isbaz day out.
Yeah.
Is pretend like it's our last 24 hours to live.
Right.
And then do some crazy thing like this.
Well, maybe we can combine all of this. We get the blimp, all right? We invite all of the people that we want to spend time with, as well as the people we want to purge. And then we all get up on the blimp. And some of those people have actual parachutes, and others don't. So the purge ones, you can say goodbye and just shove them out. And then the other ones can do the thing. Am I bragging? Yeah, I'm bragging.
All night long.
All night long. Just 2 minutes.
It's very short. It's going to be a very short night. It's like you could only do that all night long in the Arctic Circle in summer. The night begins at 3:15 and daybreak is 3:17.
Yeah. Reminds me of that old Dean Martin joke where he's saying, my wife just had our 4th child, and the whole crowd, applause. And he says, I don't know what you're clapping for. It only took me 8 minutes. For all of them. It only took me 8 minutes of work. For all of them.
We have something going on about that. You look into a room and you like the combined ages of people. The combined ages. Oh right, I was writing something the other day, and I was like, so you don't need to worry about kids as individuals. Just give a combined age. So if there's a room full of kids, you can say, 50. So it could be 10 5-year-olds, or it could be 5 10-year-olds, or it could be 2 15-year-olds and a 10-year-old. It's like, just give a combined age for kids. I don't know. How many kids you got? I have 40.
Well, you've got kids. No, I don't. Let's agree to disagree. All right. On your last day, we did a good job there. That was definitely worth it. And I guess all we need now is somebody to source all of the drugs. If you can source us those drugs, let us know. Let's move on to chapter 2, Michael.
I think we should, yeah. Damn.
Dang, I'm going to push the button. This is coming up. It's chapter 2.
So, favorite phrase. I think this is a difficult one, actually.
On
and
your
I'm really
favorite
glad
phrase.
that I went back and watched last week's Isbaz.
Okay.
It's always good watching last week's.
You go
last
back
week.
and watch the episodes?
Sometimes I do, yeah. And
Does
I went
anybody-
and,
do-
I went
do
and
you guys
watched
do that?
last week's episode.
Yeah?
Because, I didn't see it. So I went back to check it.
I think there might be
And
a
there's
lot of...
always gold in there, man. There's always gold in there. And last week's gold was my favorite phrase.
What was your favorite phrase?
It always gets worse before it gets better.
That's your favorite phrase?
I think it's
It
my
always
favorite
gets
phrase.
worse
Yeah.
before it gets better. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's definitely up there in the top 3.
I think there are people out there that watch Isbaz not live. There are people that watch it asynchronously, as it were. So I want to give a quick shout out to all of those people. If you are not here right now, but I guess right now is right now for you while you're watching this. But if you are at a later right now than this right now, and you're watching this, hi, thanks for being around. If you want to know more about what's going on, just go to HQ, go to the Isbaz HQ. There's all kinds of nice people there.
Isbaz HQ on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. That's
Isbaz
right.
HQ on Facebook. And it might actually be in the description of this video.
It should definitely be in the description.
It
of this
should.
video. Yeah.
Definitely be.
Okay, on your favorite phrase. Everybody who is on the chat right now, what's your favorite phrase? What's a phrase that you use very often? What is maybe an aphorism or a phrase that you really like?
Or some phrase that somebody you really like uses.
Yeah, what's one of those favorite things? Like, there's a lot of them. Like, I think we could do an entire chapter on your favorite insults or your favorite expletives. But, so for example, one of my favorite epithets. One of my favorite phrases, or a phrase that I use very often, is I'll say, Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. That's a very often, oh, Jesus. And I'll say that all the time.
Yeah, but it's not really a phrase.
I guess it's not a phrase, but it is one of my favorite things to say. One of my favorite phrases is, if you can't get out of it, get into it. And it's one of my favorite pieces of advice that I ever got, and it's one of my favorite phrases. I got that from the wonderful Ryan. Why am I blanking on Ryan's last name? I'll tell you in 2 seconds. It's because
The thing about that phrase is, I totally
get out of it,
I
get
totally
into
get
it.
it. I think it's a great phrase, yeah. However, if you think about it, if you can't get out of it, you're already in it.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah. So
And that's the whole point of it.
getting into it is not the same thing as being in it.
It's,
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a great phrase.
Because very often, if
you're stuck,
you're
it's
in
like-
something,
it's
and then
like-
all you're doing is complaining about being
When you
in
get
it.
lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
If you can't get out of it,
It's a more
get
funky.
into it.
It's a more hip,
Absolutely.
more urban version of
Yeah.
the lemon thing. Yeah.
Another one of my favorite phrases, which is a very new phrase to me, but it just flashed me like no other in a long time. What's the best ability? Availability.
This is another one from last week's show. Baking is chemistry for hungry people.
Baking
That's
is-
from this week's promo. Yeah, it's from this week's promo. Baking is chemistry
for hungry people.
Yeah.
Truth.
Follower of is clay. What?
Bull Mike, follower of clay, is right
about
without
the sake.
without the sake. Bull Mike, follower of clay, is right without the sake. Or
I
sake?
don't get it.
I'm not sure what that means either. For fuck's sake?
For fuck's sake.
No, I don't know. For fuck's sake is a very favorite phrase of mine. I will say, oh, for fuck's sake.
But does that? I don't think that counts as a phrase.
Well, what does count as a phrase for you? This is a typical Michael thing. You'll often say, that's not what we're talking about. So define phrase for me. What is it? What counts as a phrase?
For fuck's sake, it's just an expletive that you use when you're annoyed about something.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's a great phrase. I mean, it's not an aphorism. But it is a phrase that you use all the time.
Is it your favorite phrase? So
I don't know if
the
it's my
thing.
favorite phrase, but it's one of my favorite phrases,
Oh, for fuck's
obviously,
sake.
because I use it all the time.
And it fulfills a necessity.
Okay. Well, then give me an example. What do you mean by phrase, and what would be a favorite phrase? Does what's the best ability availability count as a favorite phrase?
Totally.
Okay.
That's not something you'd say all the time, just to kind of vent.
Right.
Like I don't think something you say just to vent is something that qualifies as a phrase.
That doesn't qualify as a phrase. Okay. So,
Red mal mit der Kuh Französisch, wenn sie es nicht versteht.
courtesy of my mother. Red mal mit der Kuh Französisch, wenn sie es nicht versteht. Scheißt da nix,
dann
fällt da nix.
Swinger Club NRC is new.
Hello, Swinger Club NRC. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining us. Scheiß da nix, then fällt da nix.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, that's a good phrase. Okay, so phrases for you are far more aphorisms.
I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
Like, if you can't get out of it,
get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
If God gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah. Keep on trucking.
I
Shit
guess so.
happens.
Yeah, yeah. Life's a bitch and then you die.
'Cause life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we get high.
It is why we get high.
What is that? Is that Nas? Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we get high.
'Cause you really don't know. Doesn't matter which shirt I wear, I've always got these.
Yeah, you're a sweaty guy.
And in this light, they really show up.
You really, yeah.
I'm a sweaty guy.
He's just a sweaty guy. Oh, we haven't talked about this because everyone's talking about this. By the by, if you haven't seen Peter Jackson's documentary, Get Back, about the Beatles,
You gotta see it.
you got to see it. It's really great. If you like music or group dynamics in any way, shape, or form, it's an amazing thing to watch. The recordings are very cool. The restoration of the films are very cool.
Yeah, if you like people just making shit up as they go along.
And if you have
And genius at it.
Yeah,
Man.
if you have any connection to the Beatles,
Or
it's
music.
just, it's just wonderful. Yeah, definitely.
So, follower of Clay, what's the improved version of Shit Happens?
Sheep happens. That's for the New Zealanders out there.
I like eating sheep. I want to eat sheep in my 24.
Eat sheep.
In my last 24 hours.
Eat sheep.
I want to eat sheep.
Eat sheep, mother lover. I'm gonna get all up in your grill. Eat sheep, mother lover.
My great aunt
Yeah.
and my great uncle had their 50th wedding anniversary. I think I must have been about 13 or something like that.
Okay.
And they invited a ton of people, like 150 people or something like that. And they had this huge house and a huge garden and stuff like that. And they served a whole steer.
Okay.
And it was out in the garden on a rotisserie
Yeah.
for days.
Yeah. I've been to one party that served that once. But why does it bring you up?
I was just thinking about how I'd like to have the sheep. How I'd like to have the sheep. I think I want to have it on a rotisserie like that.
I think maybe Michael should never do Isbaz Hungry.
And the cool thing about those rotisserie things is that the meat that you get is always perfect.
Right.
You cut that off.
Yeah.
And then it turns until that's perfect again.
Yeah.
It's the best way to eat. It's the best way to eat. It's the best way to eat.
For the vegetarians, you can do the same thing with tofu.
Ugh.
Just put it on a spit, turn it, slice it off. And just let it keep cooking.
I don't think you can. I don't actually think you can do that.
Just there was some movie I'm blanking on now where they made a bust out of liverwurst. Does this ring a bell for you? Somebody making a bust, like a statue out of liverwurst?
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's
I
like Leberpastete, kind of. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Leberpastete, liverwurst. Yeah. Leberpastete. In any case,
It's an interesting thing to use to make something out. I've never thought of it. I think I'm going to have it. Like on my last day, I want to have a bust of Leberpastete.
of yourself. A bust of Michael Smolik made of liverwurst.
You stick your finger in it and get it put out like that.
There's this really crazy movie called Butter.
No, I've not seen this, but I've seen a crazy movie called Rubber.
Oh, that's a wonderful movie. Man, the first 15 minutes of that movie are worth everything.
They're brilliant. Brilliant.
That monologue.
That monologue is amazing.
That monologue in the beginning of Rubber is amazing.
It does go on for a bit then. And I think I've never managed to watch it to the end.
Yeah.
I've always fallen asleep at some point. I also think that I've tried to watch it high several times.
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually work out.
We don't have a lot of favorite phrases here. I'm trying to. What was a mom phrase for you? What was a thing that? What's a phrase that you associate with your mom? What did your mom always say?
My mom used to say, when my brother and I were in a fight about something, and she'd walk into the room and she didn't know what was going on,
right?
Why we were why this was going on?
Yeah.
Who was the aggressor and who was the victim? And she'd come into the room and she'd go, "You boys, enough of that! Or I'll clip you both around the ear hole and then I'll get the right one."
Clip you both around the ear hole so I get the right one.
Yeah. And it was always it was so unfair because it's like, well, you get the wrong one as well.
Yeah. Kill them all and let God sort them out.
Yeah, that's a phrase. Kill them all and let God sort them out. So that's a phrase I heard quite a lot as a kid. Oh yeah, and another one. Also my mom. One of her favorite phrases was, you can't have your cake and eat it.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. Yeah. Can't have your cake and eat
that, it took me a long time to figure that phrase out.
Yeah.
I think I needed the internet, actually, and like an urban dictionary to figure out what the fuck that phrase meant. I think it's a stupid phrase. And the way it's written is kind of stupid as well. And then the other one, it's kind of in a similar vein, was beggars can't be choosers. And
beggars
can't be choosers.
Be choosers.
And I was like, yeah, I don't really care about that because I'm not begging.
You do that all. It's so funny. You will just dismiss an entire idea because it doesn't apply to you.
It's a shit idea.
But you understand the idea of choosing beggars, right?
No, I do understand.
Okay.
But I mean, it's being used as a phrase.
Yeah.
On whoever as a, you can't get what you want because beggars can't be choosers. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not a beggar. I'm not begging here. Right? I have rights.
Right.
I've paid my SVS.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I wonder, do you think something has happened here?
I don't know.
Okay. No, it seems like we're still going.
It looks good.
It does look good.
They're slurping on their own, or they're enthralled by what we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Get on the chat, you people.
Just to make sure.
So we know that you're there.
Red mal mit der Kuh, Französisch, wenn sie nichts will. That's really good.
I think that's brilliant.
My lady friend's mom would say all the time, ich glaub mein Hamster bonert. Ich glaub mein Hamster bonert. Which means I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Hamster bonert.
Ich glaub mein Hamster bonert.
You know what?
Mädchen, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Ich glaub mein Hamster bonert.
You know what that makes me think of?
My mom had a great...
That sketch that Anne wrote about when the hamsters die, you make you make slippers out of them and then you use them to polish the floors. Because then that's what they're doing.
That's right, just a slit in the back. Stick your feet in. My mom had great confidence in Verenis, as in her apparently. She used to say she'd have to marry rich to afford that. But on the other hand, I'd have to be married rich to afford that. Yeah. Did you have rich taste? Did you have expensive taste as a child? My mom used to say that about me. She would be like, we would go somewhere and she said, Jimmy, pick out your favorite thing. And if it was a museum or a shop or whatever, I would always go like, oh, this is the thing. And she'd be like, every single time. It was always either the most expensive thing or it was like the thing to get.
Right. Born in the wrong family.
Yeah. Ich glaube, mein Schwein pfeift. Yeah, this is like mein Hamster.
How big are your hamsters? You'd like to know, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you should talk to Susie Find out how big those hamsters were.
My hamsters are at least as big as guinea pigs.
Another cow one from my mom. Du guckst wie de Kuh, wenn's Donut. Du guckst wie de Kuh, wenn's Donut. Yeah, that's along the lines of close your mouth, your heart'll get cold. Did you ever hear that one? When somebody's like, close your mouth, your heart'll get cold. Close your mouth.
Vom eigen door.
Yeah, close your mouth, the flies will get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, du guckst wie de Kuh, wenn's Donut.
Classic Pavlov's.
That's nice. Yeah.
You can't have a drunk wife and a full wine casket. This is true. You can't have a drunk wife
You can't have
and
a
a full wine.
drunk wife and a
That's
full wine.
so much better than you can't have your cake and eat
Eat
it.
it too, yeah.
And that's why you can't have your cake and eat it.
Yeah.
It's such a bad phrase because having your cake is.
I know you can't have your cake and eat it too, which is can't
Yeah,
have it
I've never
and
heard that,
eat it as
that way
well,
before, right?
which is the
But it
two
should
is for
actually-
me implied in your
can't,
version of it.
You can't keep your cake and eat it.
Yeah.
Is basically what's implied, right?
Jetzt geht's rund, sagte die Fliege, als sie in den Ventilator flog. What's the last thing that went through the bug's mind as it hit the windshield at 65 miles an hour?
It's asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. What's this? That's a flying asshole. Which is the first dirty joke that I'd ever heard. It was a bunch of old men sitting around my grandfather, when he was on his run. And they all laughed at it. What's this? It's a flying asshole. And I was a kid and I never really got why it was funny. And there was at some point as an adult, I remember telling the story and then laughing at the joke and realizing, oh, that's why it's funny. It's just funny.
It's a funny thing to do. Interestingly, the assholes are open. It's like, it should actually be like that.
Yeah. It's a flying asshole.
You can't have a drunk wife and a full wine casket is my favorite phrase.
Yeah, that's going to be on your gravestone. I'm going to use that as your epitaph.
You know what I want to have? I want to have a gravestone where everybody who comes to my grave can change the gravestone. Like I want to have a white wall.
That's amazing.
Gravestone.
Yeah.
Just write something on there, and then it'll be on until somebody else comes on and writes something else.
There's some great ones. I remember reading an article years ago about famous people that would die and their epitaphs are like Mel Blanc, Man of a Thousand Voices, Bugs Bunny. His epitaph is "That's all, folks." I think Mel Brooks.
He's still alive.
Mel Brooks is still alive. No, so it wasn't Mel Brooks. Somebody, I can't remember, another Mel maybe. I don't know. But one of them was like, I told you I wasn't faking.
There was one that turned up in Twitter this week as well. It's kind of like, you're standing on my chest.
Yeah. That reminds me of the Shins line. Even when they're parking their cars on your chest, you still have a view of the summer sky.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you have really expensive taste, Verena. Don't want to do the ironing and hire someone to do it. Yeah. Born in the wrong family. What can I say?
I don't want to do the ironing and want to hire someone to do that. But see, I think this is brilliant. I mean, yes, outsource that shit. I think that's
You've got to earn the money first.
Oh, is that like her as a young girl telling her mom? Oh yeah, okay, I get it now. Yeah, wrong family.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I understand the understanding of this is ridiculous. We should not be spending time on this. Can we just hire somebody to do this?
Yeah. I wonder whether I'm going to play this game with my kids. I can go, oh, you were born in the wrong family. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you. In this family, you do the ironing.
Yeah. You don't want to do the ironing? Well, you can go to Uncle Jim's house. You can go to Uncle Jim's house and see.
He'll pay you to do the ironing.
Yeah, he'll pay you to do the ironing. I have no problem with child labor. Especially if it's his kids. I was thinking that actually today before I came over, I went upstairs onto the terrace and it was just covered in snow. And Anna had asked me,
who's going to clear all this shit?
yeah, she asked me, she was like, do we have to shovel this off? And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, yeah, if it gets deeper, but I don't need to do that. Michael's kids will do that in a couple of years. I'll get Michael's kids to come over and,
you
make
kids, want to come and build a snowman?
Yeah. Let's have a snow.
Use all the snow. Use all of it.
Yeah,
have a shovel.
fort. Yeah, there you go. It's like my dad. My dad did that all the time. Well, Jimmy can go and play after this section of the garden has been weeded if you want to help him out.
Yeah.
That's when I never had friends again.
Oh, it's Spike Milligan.
Spike Milligan's epitaph was...
No, what you said.
Oh, the one that I said about...
I told you I wasn't
I told
thinking.
you I wasn't thinking.
Spike Milligan. Fucking hell. Spike Milligan is such a...
You hit a nerve. Michael's in love with Spike Milligan.
I love Spike Milligan.
Yeah, he's got a hard-on for Spike Milligan. Well, I think we did a good job with some good aphorisms, some good phrases. I'd like to maybe revisit this idea so that we can include insults, expletives, the things that you say when you hurt yourself. Like, there was a long time where I would go, tits.
Mm-hmm. Like your best, like the best insults you've delivered to someone. I think that's a good...
Like, I neither have the time nor the crayons to explain this to you. You've never really been blessed with thinking. She's always been a little unlucky when it comes to thinking. That's a good insult. I actually, in preparation for this, I was thinking about quotes and phrases, and I was looking for some. Here are some quotes and phrases from other people that I think are kind of interesting. If A is a success in life, then A equals X plus Y plus Z. Work is X, Y is play, and Z is keeping your mouth shut.
Oh yeah, but we're going to do a whole episode about the...
Keeping your mouth, the beauty of keeping your mouth shut. That was Einstein. These are all Einstein, by the way. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Yes, oh, that's good.
Yeah. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. And that one really hit me because of my allergicness to the future that I have right now, which I don't know if we've spoken about, but I'm a little allergic to the future.
I saw a great one about the past today on Facebook, and I can't remember it.
This is how almost every one of our conversations starts.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember things.
So moving on, don't put it down, put it away. That's along the lines of if you can't get out of it, get into it. A place for everything and everything in its place.
Yeah.
That's a good aphorism. It's not like a favorite phrase of mine, but it is something I try to live by. Don't put it down, put it away. I try to live by that. It's like keeping the top half of the gas tank full, just some best practices. Sometimes I can feel my bones straining under the weight of all the lives I'm not living. I read this book. This is from Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer, or Foer. I'm not sure how to say it. Foer. And I remember reading this book, but I didn't remember this sentence. It came out when I was looking for ideas about phrases and stuff. And this really resonated with me. It's too long to explain why it does, but I'd like to talk about this at some point.
Yeah.
This next one is from Somerset Maugham. It might be that to surrender to happiness was to accept defeat, but it was a defeat better than many victories, which is a very fancy way of saying, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right?
Yes, I guess so. But, that's kind of how he rolls, isn't it?
Yeah. A guy was throwing money into an outhouse. Another guy comes up and asks, "What the hell are you doing?" And the first guy says, "I dropped $1 down there, and I ain't going down there just for $1." I've heard versions of this story.
That's really good.
But damn, that really resonated with me really recently.
Really good. And it still means he ain't going down there.
Yeah, he's still just throwing bad money after good. until it gets good enough to get down into the.
For somebody else to go down.
No. I think he's throwing money into it, and he says, I'm going to put enough money in there, and then I'll go and get it.
It's too big to fail.
Yeah. And these last two are from Douglas
Adams. What a genius.
All opinions are not equal. Some are a very great deal more robust, sophisticated, and well supported in logic and argument than others.
Yeah. Damn. Nothing more to say.
That's not necessarily a phrase or a favorite one, but it's just something
fucking
that
truth.
really resonated with me recently. And finally, reality is frequently inaccurate. And that's also a Douglas Adams quote, which I liked very much.
It's good.
Yeah. Okay. Michael, we did it. We did all of chapter 2. We went above and beyond. Let's see what they say here.
Marry rich.
One day I'd be rich enough to pay someone to do the ironing. Her only solution was to marry rich. Ah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Your moms do that, don't they? Yeah. We're glad you didn't have to marry rich. But if you do marry rich, let us know, because we could use some support. Oral outbursts. Expletives. What are the oral outbursts? I think is what she's talking about there. But to close this, I always liked it'll all be good in the end, and if it's not good, it's not the end. That was the Grand Marigold Hotel. That's a really nice one. Yeah.
Sunken cost fallacy. Pavlov's dog. Bring it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just throwing it.
Factoid.
You just got factoided. You're welcome.
Grease me up, Scotty.
I will indeed. While we do the greasing up, we are going to now go to a message to our sponsors.
Back to the show.
Oh, wow. Good thing nobody could hear us.
Slurping. Don't you have to work tomorrow?
We both have to work tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Michael and I are working with the wonderful Anne Vina and Sophie Kozulu, as well as the lovely and talented Amadea Horvat. Horvat? Mm-hmm. And working for a thing called the Institute for Innovation in Politics. And they've started producing a weekly show called Socks Talk Politics.
And we are the voices of said socks.
That's right. And it's a bunch of sock puppets talking about different political initiatives that
We're
are
actually
happening.
introducing positive developments in politics, which is something I really like. I think our news should be 50% good news, and this kind of goes in that direction, which is really nice.
Yeah,
it's not all bad news. There are good things happening out there.
Absolutely,
and this is what this is about. And we also get to hang out with each other and voice these really fun characters. Right?
Tomorrow morning,
some very fun.
We're going to record a very special Socks Talk Politics episode.
It's going to be the Christmas episode.
Is it going to be the Christmas episode?
The Christmas episode.
Yeah. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be very different from anything you've seen before.
If you've seen Socks Talk Politics before.
It might also be whiter than anything you've ever seen before.
You are the whitest. So, of course, it will be.
Yeah.
What
did
we learn from last week's promo? You are the whitest.
I'm the whitest?
You said so.
Did I say that?
In last week's promo.
Really? I don't remember. I didn't watch it. Okay.
Because you really don't know!
Are Socks Talks watchable? They are. If you, I can't do it here, but if you check out, just type into YouTube Socks Talk Politics. It's, I believe, the first thing that'll come up.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Is he asking, are they watchable or are they watchable?
Yes to both.
Yes to both.
Yes to both.
Yeah.
I would say yes to both.
So we're going to move on to episode chapter number 3.
We are indeed.
Okay, good.
We're moving on to chapter number... Wait, before we move on to chapter number 3.
Yeah.
Do we need to mention anything besides the socks? No. We should mention...
That we're doing a Christmas show online in streaming form
Yeah.
from the 15th to the 18th.
Yeah, we should mention that.
We'll post that in Isbaz HQ, okay?
We'll post that in Isbaz HQ.
Next week, from Wednesday to Saturday, we are doing the English Lovers Xmas Online Extreme Show.
Yes. It's called Once Upon a Christmas, the Extreme Edition. I think we've already told them about this.
Have we?
I can't
No,
remember.
I don't think so.
No?
I think we were talking about that in the promo for whenever.
Oh, shit.
It was before. It was before we had all that vodka.
Oh, right.
And that's why it feels like it was the same thing.
Well, next week from Wednesday to Saturday, as Michael said, you can check that out. We'll put a link in the
It's going to
Isbaz
feel like every
HQ.
other show we've ever done, as long as you have vodka.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
you're going to know exactly what is. Yeah. We're going to be there. It's going to be exactly the same.
Chapter 3.
Where's this going? Please save me from this. Okay, this is a really interesting topic.
On your theme song.
Totally.
Okay, so right at its basis level, what is the first song that comes to your head that should be your theme song? Just put it in the chat. The first one that came to my head
Yes.
as my theme song were 2.
Okay.
One is a dude playing bass in some YouTube video that was one of the funkiest motherfucking things I'd ever seen. I have to find it again. I remember posting on Facebook when I saw this saying, I want this to be my theme music wherever I go. It was so good and had such a fucking groove. I loved it.
But you can't hum the tune.
Not a chance. It was just awesome. It was like it was very, very cool. And the other one was that Pixie song, Tony's Theme. This is a song about a superhero named Tony. It's called Tony's Theme. If somebody can find clips to anything that we mention, if we can get all of these in, it would be great, because then I'll put together a Spotify thing, which I wanted to start before, but I couldn't get back to. For some reason, when you rewatch the thing, there's sometimes I can't see the chat. And there was one time where
Yes,
we were like,
where we
we had
said-
a whole bunch of things, and we couldn't get back to the chat.
Right. But the chat has been on the replays lately, so
Okay,
I
so
can't
maybe we
remember.
can
I
do
don't know
that.
why that didn't work out.
Or if somebody has a computer like next to him, if maybe we can make a list in the HQ. I will put together a Isbaz Spotify list and get this together.
Of all those songs, yes.
Yeah. Shaft as a theme song. Shut your mouth. Moko. Sexy. That's a sexy theme song. Shaft.
Yeah. Hawaii 5-0 would be a good theme song as well. Eye of the Tiger.
Rising up, back on the streets.
What's that band called?
Survivor.
Survivor. I saw them live with the original singer in something like 1996 with 6 other people at a concert in Vienna. And the singer was so pissed off.
Oh, no.
He rejoined the band for this tour.
Oh, no.
And nobody gave a shit about the tour.
Oh no!
So, oh God.
But Eye of the Tiger is a great song.
It's a fantastic song.
It's a fantastic song.
Yeah.
That weird hitch at the beginning, like they're out of time. It goes out of time for a little thing.
It does?
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of like Roxanne, like at the beginning of Roxanne, where he's
It's. I just tapped it out. It's exactly in tune, man.
at the beginning of Roxanne by the Police. He starts off in the wrong key, and then
Yeah, but that's
slides
Sting's
back
thing.
down.
He always starts off in the wrong key.
Does he?
Yeah, that's
didn't know
why
that.
that's why Sting is uncopyable. Because he does all that fucking shit.
And the Breeders did the same thing, like in
I know nothing about the
the
Breeders.
last Splash.
Yeah.
You know that song though.
I don't.
Cannonball was the name of this song. was a huge hit. Summer, yes, you know
Huge
it's
hit.
like
Breeders had a huge hit.
the Breeders had a huge hit. It was called Cannonball.
In Maine.
Oh yeah, oh Cannonball. Oh yeah. If I played it, you'd go, oh yeah, I remember that song.
It had bass that did this.
I just saw a dude on YouTube playing bass on one string. He had one string, and it sounded incredible. He was doing all this weird tapping shit, and it sounded like all the strings. Not like, who was it? What was it? Morphine, the band Morphine?
Yeah.
It was saxophone and bass and drums, but the bass player only had two strings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Monkey from... Damn, what's that band? He plays bass with two strings only. I'll tell you.
My theme song is yet to be written.
Ooh.
Let's come up with some theme songs for Verena. Breaking up is hard to do.
It has yet to be written.
Okay, I know, but until then.
Until then, she can use a substitute like a...
Yeah, she needs a substitute. Beverly Hills Cop. Are you talking about Axel F and Axel F?
God, that got so much fucking airplay. I hated it. And I was working in the cinema at the time, which it means I heard it all the time as well. God, I hated that.
I had the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack on vinyl.
Crap.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Did you buy it? You went and paid money for that shit?
No, it was in my dad's collection for some reason.
okay.
He paid money for it at some point. We did watch. I saw that movie. I did see that movie.
Yeah, I saw all of them.
Yeah, it was great.
Sure. I had the Ghostbusters soundtrack
Oh yeah,
on
Ray Parker Jr.
cassette.
Or was it like the soundtrack of the film with Ray Parker Jr.'s song?
Yeah,
on it?
Ray Parker Jr.'s song and all the other songs that were in that
Yeah.
thing, but I can't remember any of them.
I can't remember any songs.
I had the
in that
soundtrack to Footloose as well.
That was a good one. Kenny Loggins.
Yeah,
Footloose.
but that's like the worst song on that whole
Everybody
album, actually.
cut
Like this-
Footloose. But the breakdown is awesome. That,
Yeah.
oh, cut Footloose. Oh, got to be down the ground.
Does it
Put
do
your
that
feet
in every-
on the ground.
Maybe that's the live
I'll
version.
say the whole. No. This is really dated if you are
Young at heart.
Do you mean like young at heart? Is that song? That's like
Yeah.
who was that? Cause you are. It's like I associate that song with Disney for some reason. If you are among the very young at heart. Yeah, that's
Disney's kind of stolen everything basically.
Yeah.
For the past 50 years.
Yeah.
Or music.
Something from the Bare Naked Ladies. Do you know the Bare Naked Ladies?
I do. I couldn't name a song though.
One of my favorite ones, I mean, was if I had $1 million. If I had $1 million, I'd be rich. And the other song by the Bare Naked Ladies that I love is, and I could be your Yoko Ono, and I could follow you wherever I go. Be my Yoko Ono. Oh. It's a really sweet song. Be my Yoko Ono.
I just realized that Follow of Clay's song is Strangers in the Night.
Strangers in the night.
But Christina and my song is
Kiss.
Moon River. No, that's hers.
That's hers, Kiss.
Yeah.
By Prince, Kiss, which it took me half of my lifetime to realize that Prince's song Kiss, there's no bass in that song, in that recording.
No way.
There is no bass in that recording. And it's still one of the most danciest ever. If Kiss comes on in the club, up in the party club, you are going to be on that dance floor.
It's a great song.
It's a great song, but there's no bass in it.
But basically everything by Prince is fucking awesome. So
Agreed. Yes.
like almost everything.
Yes, but it's amazing that it's such
There's
a dance
no
song.
bass in that song?
There's no bass in it.
I have to go and check this. I don't believe you.
Is there a song about injuring yourself to be broken up with? Yeah. Breaking up is hard to do. Don't go
Is there a
breaking
song
my
about
heart.
injuring
I
yourself?
couldn't if I tried. That's Elton John and Kiki D.
View through trees.
View through trees in
bro.
the house. Rick Astley. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna. That's Never Gonna Give You Up is your theme song. Rick Astley. No, Moko. Rick rolled. We got Rick rolled. Theme song.
Yeah, so I didn't actually know how to answer this question because what is the theme song to my life? I guess it's something along the lines of Back in the Saddle, or
Don't Fence Me In by
Fence
Bing
Me.
Crosby.
Don't fence me
the,
in. Let me ride through the wide open country. La, la, la.
there's a pretty good version of that.
Don't fence me in.
My nephew recently got into a car accident. Yeah, he's fine.
What about his wife?
Everybody involved is fine. Not my nephew who's married, but my nephew who is going to be having a child soon with his girlfriend.
Right. This is the one in Texas?
No, that's he's the one who's married.
Okay.
I'm talking about my nephew Eli, who is in Kentucky. And he said the worst part of the accident was that it happened while Danzig was on the radio. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
Danzig, and I was like, yeah. I was like, my first thought was, this is the soundtrack of your life.
But was it a bad thing because he likes the song, or was it a bad thing because he doesn't like the song?
I think he has a love-hate relationship with all '90s alternative music,
Right.
and I just tried to remind him that Danzig also wrote for Johnny Cash and Roy Orbison, so it could have been worse.
No, I guess so.
It could have been worse.
Danzig are weird.
The Wanderer, Verena, that's a good
Wanderer.
theme song.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
good
the
song.
Wanderer,
Yeah.
yeah, the Wanderer. That was Dion, right? The
I thought
Wanderer.
it was Roy Orbison.
The Wanderer? No. I'm a wanderer, yeah, the wanderer. I roam around.
He said,
Yeah,
doing his
roll
best
from
Roy Orbison
down.
voice.
No,
But yeah,
Roy
I think you're right.
If I do Roy
But it
Orbison,
sounds
Roy
like
Orbison is much higher. Roy Orbison had that really high, clear voice. One of my favorite Roy Orbison stories is when they put together the Traveling Wilburys. There was this one tune, and Roy sings this line, and then Jeff Lind, who was producing everything, was like, okay, Tom Petty, why don't you give it a shot? And Tom was like, I am not singing after Roy. And none of the other guys were all like, we don't want to try to sing whatever verse it is after Roy's version, because he had that.
He just went out and killed it. Everybody was like, I'm good. Yeah.
Are you talking about Glenn Danzig from the Misfits? Yeah, exactly. Glenn Danzig from the Misfits. Wrote for Johnny Cash and Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember there's a really funny picture of Roy Orbison with his big, thick bottle glasses laying back with a guitar, and like Glenn Danzig and maybe Lemmy from Motorhead or something. He's hanging out with these dudes, and he's just like, here goes my baby.
High as a kite.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Other good theme songs. So, I mean, the theme songs that we can laugh about, of course, are those ones that have titles and lyrics and stuff like that. Do you have a favorite instrumental? Like, there's a couple of instrumentals. Dion and the Belmonts. Thank you very much. That's what I said, Dion.
Yeah.
Like, there's an instrumental.
Well, actually, my first association when we came up with this topic, with this chapter, is actually an instrumental part of a song that is like one of my favorite go-to pick-me-up things to listen to.
Yeah. A fiery up song, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the first, 45 seconds of Pride by U2 before the vocal comes in. Because it's just so raunchy and so... And that just fires me up totally. It's a great... So that I don't know. That would kind of fill that pocket of a theme song, right?
I'm a little drunken now, and I'm blanking on the title of the tune, but there's a tune on Galaxy 500's first album that is an instrumental. It might even be called Instrumental. And I used to do a version of it solo on the street, but that's an instrumental song that always gets me going.
I have a couple of records like by Booker T and the MGs and Link Ray, and all of those are instrumental. And, they're all really good driving and walking and running music. It's like turn it up and you don't have to worry about singing along because the music just carries you through it.
Yeah. There's a couple of Galaxy numbers that I like that are instrumental that really fire me up or get me going, but I'm not sure that it's the soundtrack. The soundtrack or the theme, your theme music.
Yeah.
Because we have so many different modes and so many different
exactly.
roles.
Your theme music changes according to what you're doing and stuff like that. Yeah, Claire de Luna I think is a great thing as well. And what's that other Debussy tune? I can't think of the French title. It's called Nachmittag eines Fauns. That's a great piece of music.
Faun, as in the Greek creature with the a faun. Yeah, there's some good stuff out there as theme music. I like.
What would you like to have played when your 24 hours are up?
Songs to be played at your funeral. There's a song, the Black Watch bagpipe. The Black Watch bagpipe collective or whatever whatever they're called.
Bagpipes is definitely a good choice for your funeral.
There's a version of Amazing Grace. And I've got an old buddy of mine who I promised years ago that when he died, I would have that played at his wedding, at his funeral. That's a good choice.
Bagpipes is just an incredible instrument.
Yeah.
Have you ever been right close to somebody playing bagpipes?
Oh yeah.
It's so loud.
Yeah, even the small ones, like the Aeolian war pipe things, like the smaller version, even those have got this fucking massive sound.
I went to a house concert.
Oh yeah.
And there was a bagpipe player at this house concert. And he was alone, and there were, I don't know, maybe 20 other people. And we were in this living room, and he gets up to play this piece on the bagpipes. And it was so loud that everybody was like this.
Yeah.
And the light bulbs were flickering because there was so much reverberation going on in that room, it making the filaments jump.
Yeah. The song that you were thinking of, Prélude à l'après-midi d'un faune.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah. Take Anything by Ennio Morricone. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's some good stuff.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Oh man. And Philly Girl, we got to get out of this place. The Animals. We gotta get out of this place.
Play that at my funeral.
If it's the last. Shit's boring. We gotta get out of this place. Yeah. I mean, Fistful of Dollars. That whole.
And Ennio Morricone is just really, really good instrumental music as well. Because everything that Morricone does, or not everything, a lot of things that he does, or that he's written, have that kind of pop music feel to them. You can play them on the radio. So they're actually more instrumental than they are incidental. Yeah, but also because they're the themes, they get played over and over again. Like, there's a couple of themes from the Harry Lime theme from The Third Man, there's a lot. Armageddon.
But
the Harry Lime theme is definitely a pop song. And it was a pop song when it came out.
Yeah. The Armageddon soundtrack, there's a lot of movie soundtracks.
The Armageddon soundtrack is pretty good. I've never heard the Armageddon soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say. I don't know.
Who did it? Who did the Armageddon soundtrack?
There's got to be some Aerosmith on that at least.
Well, yeah, that's not part of the soundtrack, I guess. That's part. Well,
no, I think it was.
What's the difference? What is the difference? You've got the soundtrack. Well, yeah. Because I don't want to miss a thing.
That's the one, yeah.
That was the one from Armageddon. But there's the soundtrack, and then there are songs from the movie, which is different, right? So like this, or maybe I'm mixing up the terms, but there's usually a term for songs that are in the movie, that are featured in the movie, and then there's a term for the music that is the
so not
themes
all
and the
songs,
songs that are written for the movie.
So that is a difference because sometimes they don't have the rights to put those songs on a soundtrack.
Well, yes, there is that, but that's not what I'm talking
There's
about.
lots of sound, like if you get a Bond soundtrack,
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of songs on there.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll get a soundtrack that has songs that were played on the radio or singles or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you get a soundtrack that doesn't have all the music from the film because they don't have the rights to put those tracks on that soundtrack.
Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the difference between featured songs and the themes and incidental music.
Right.
So like John Bryan, who wrote a ton of incidental music for like Wes Anderson and those like that's all music that gets played, or there are themes for different characters, or
that's soundtrack. But
it's not, but then there are also commercial songs that are in there,
and some of them end up on the soundtrack. And like when you go and buy the soundtrack, okay. So
yes, I know what you mean.
The difference between the soundtrack and the soundtrack album. So you can go and buy the soundtrack album, and sometimes all of those commercial songs are on there if they can afford them, and sometimes they aren't.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're just paid for like the 3 seconds of that song that they use.
How would you differentiate the music that are songs that are featured and the incidental themes of this soundtrack of the movie? How would you differentiate those two different types of songs? Because
well, the one's original music that was written for the film.
The original soundtrack, the OST.
The original score. It's more like the original score. So the original score that was written for the movie is all those soundtrack bits.
The score is the instrumentals. Trevor Rabin must be the guy from Armageddon who did those, right? What
did
else
he really?
did Trevor
My
Rabin
God.
do? I don't know the name. I probably know the work, though.
He's South African, and I thought he disappeared. So he's writing soundtracks these days, is he? Good.
Yeah.
Good for him.
The computer game Morrowind by Jay Soul. I haven't heard this soundtrack, but there are some computer game soundtracks that are pretty awesome. And there's a ton of music, like...
I want to do computer game voiceovers. I want to do computer game characters.
I want that. If there's anybody out there that can hook us up, there are two things as voiceover artists that I think both of us would really like to do. One is a computer game, absolutely.
And the other one is comic.
Oh yeah. Any animated show. I'd love to do a character on an animated show. But the other thing that's not that is I want to do something infrastructural. I want to be like the voice in the train station in Nagasaki that says, "You've just entered Nagasaki Station. Change to," I want to be like that voice. I want to do something infrastructural, something that people use and hear, and it's useful, and it's part of that landscape. It has an effect. For example, right now in Vienna, on the U-Bahn, mind the gap. In Vienna right now, the English translation on the U-Bahn, it says, "And please wear an FFP2 mask." And the way it's said is so annoying. An FFP2 mask. It's like they don't want to say the two, and then they have to say the mask at the end. An FFP mask would be fine, but it's because it's an FFP2 mask.
That recording sounds to me like they've taken those individual words and just stuck them together.
It's awful.
It is awful.
It's awful.
Is it awful or awful?
It's awful. Awful.
Which is the leftover bits that
no,
after
that's
butchering.
awful. Awful and awful. It's different.
I think there's a flaw in that. I think we dig down through all this awful, we'll find an awful floor.
There's a floor to all of it. Yeah.
I think we've reached the end of this.
I think we have indeed. Before we go, though, let's have a quick hello and goodbye to everybody.
Pavlov's dog.
Pavlov's dog, thank you very much. Verena, we want to be Chris Lona? Is Chris Lona in a video game, or is Chris Lona?
No, she does the infrastructural thing for all the ÖBB.
That's Chris Lona?
Yeah.
Doing the German version?
Zug fährt durch.
That's her?
Bitte zurücktreten.
How did she get that gig?
She's had that gig for 40 years.
No.
She old.
But no. For years, it was the dude that worked for the U-Bahn.
No. You're talking about U-Bahn, the guy.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
That's
What is Chris Lona
Chris
doing?
Lona does ÖBB.
Ah.
All the ÖBB.
Oh, that's a good gig. That's a good gig. I want that gig.
I think they digitalized her 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I hope she still gets paid.
Like the poor woman who did Siri or the Mind the Gap woman.
But she didn't get paid.
Do you know the Mind the Gap woman? Do you know that story?
No, I didn't know about that. I know the Siri lady got squeezed out of all her dough. Yeah.
Fuckers. Anyway, Verena, thank you so much for being here. Good work. I don't know if anybody actually did get a chance to put any of these songs into the ISBAZ HQ, but if you did, you're a star. And if you did, I'll make the.
But they are here now.
And if we'll try to find them. Exactly.
Okay.
Pavlov's dog. Thank you very
for
much.
reminding me of Trevor Rabin, Verena.
Follower of Clay, as always, such a support. Thank you so much.
Marcus and Moko.
Marcus Moko. We're gonna have to do a meetup this summer. We're gonna do an ISBAZ meetup. An IRL
on a blimp.
On a blimp. Philly Girl 1000. I love you. Thank you so much for being here.
I'll try and help him figure out what he wants.
What do I want for Christmas? Yeah.
All I want for Christmas is you.
View Through Trees was here. Thank you so much for being here.
Swinger Club NRC.
Swinger Club NRC. I love it.
I don't know if this is one person or like 10 people. And they're doing their last 24 hours while they're watching the show.
You guys, Swinger Club NRC, you're spending your last 24 hours with us? That's
watching this show.
I wonder what NRC stands for.
Yeah.
NRC. It's like a...
Maybe it's something anal.
Why would you say that?
Just a swinger club.
There you go. That's a clue. Christina,
I've been to a swinger club before. I know, that's what they do there.
Anal.
I thought that's what you do at swinger clubs because you don't get it at home. Shaft!
That's what you do at the swinger club. You just swing over to do all the stuff that you don't do at home, and then swing back. I see. Okay, that's how swinger clubs works, kids. Yeah. It should be about something. Always informative. Factoided.
You just got
You heard it here first, kids.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Marcus. Moko, thank you so very much. Who else? There was something. Was there a Follower of Clay and Pavlov's Dog and Swinger Club? And Machado. I still don't understand what Follower of Clay meant with sake, but that's okay. Bull, Mike. You're bull.
Full of bull.
Machado. And I think that's everybody.
Cool.
And for some reason, this isn't moving down any further, so it's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit. It's all good.
Yeah. We thank you all very, very much. Next week, we are not going to be here. That's the bad news.
That is the bad news.
The bad news is next week, because we're streaming with the lovers in the Drachengasse, we'd love to see you there, but we won't be around next week. The week after that...
It's Christmas!
So we are also not going to be here. We might... No.
Don't promise things you can't
We're not going to promise anything. Let's not even talk about it.
That's one of my favorite phrases.
Don't promise anything?
Don't promise things you can't keep. Don't make promises you can't keep.
Your ass is writing checks. No, you're writing... Your mouth is writing checks your ass can't cash. Mr. Perkins used to say that. All right. So all we really know is that next week's status is no ISBAZ next week. But who the fuck knows? Things can change. We've got this amazing lockdown locker room. Let's not even go there. Okay, that's it. I think we did it.
Best is Baz ever.
Good hustle, everybody. Best is Baz ever. Best is Baz. We need a best is Baz ever thing like the slippers. We'll just combine all of the theme songs into
Play them all at once.
one big
So
mashup.
that YouTube can't cut it out. You know, can't block us.
Yeah. It'll be like a K-pop version of all the best theme songs into one huge mashup of all of the different styles, like K-pop does, you know, and then it'll be our best is Baz ever theme.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Check out Is Baz HQ. It's our funky Facebook group, and
The link should be in the description.
link is in the description.
Should be like down there.
And we did it.
Somewhere.
Yeah. So, best is Baz ever.
I'm pretty sure it was the best is Baz ever.
Let's do our poem.
And remember,
No matter how tough the topic,
or what it was about,
even if you disagree,
you can always hug it out.
hug it out.
Hug it out!
Hug it out, everybody! Hug it out.